And there it is. Okay. Hello once again, everybody. This is Brian Spinski along with Scott Goldiner. We are ready once again to start another edition of Convention Attention. We're back live with this podcast just as well as we were with Game Show Talking Fun last week. So we're hoping you're joining us right now, watching us on YouTube. Spread the good word about us, especially tonight, because we're going to need some interesting feedback from some of you watching out there, and hopefully our good friend who's been Liz Onor down in Baltimore. Hey, how you doing, Liz?
Hi.
Yeah, Liz is joining us in order to help us out with the conversation tonight, and keep an eye on your chat and conversation, Liz, because we're definitely going to need some feedback from your friends, even if they're not with us here face to face. So
yes.
Yeah. So any of you guys watching out there, you know the deal. Just spread the video around at the same time. You know where to subscribe to us here on YouTube at Lost Silver Productions, Facebook Lost Silver Productions, Twitter at Game Show Megamix, and we'll be able to spread around the good fun. And I apologize if we see things look a little distracted or whatever the situation is and things like that. That's only because this is the only odd thing now when we do these podcasts because of all the interactive video game or interactive trivia game apps and stuff like that or whatever. So it's like we got Cash Show moving along while the podcast is starting and finishing. So it gets a little stranger. Okay, all right, yes, you're watching your Mystery Science Theater 3000. Okay, go downstairs. He always does this. Yeah, no surprise there. So don't worry about if we see a little off there. Yeah, you're right. You are sneezing a little bit there. You're gonna be okay with that, Liz, right?
A little rough. It's cool. I'll get over it.
Well, you were telling me because of with everything, you've got a case of con plague, courtesy of Katsucon and stuff like that.
One Scott.
Oh yeah.
One Scott.
He's here.
So you tell who to go to our house.
Okay, another day. He's busy tonight. He's helping us do this, but just before we get into the topics or whatever and stuff like that, trying to think how often have you gotten con plague before from conventions?
Not often, and at least not to this extent, but in the defense, I'm pretty sure I was catching something last week, and I fought it off for the weekend, and now it's here with a vengeance.
Yeah, it's inside. Okay, all right, I'll give you that, but then your butt is mine. So who knows there? All right, so we're gonna try to figure this all out here. In the meantime, let's see if we can get some topics going within Smash or Trash. I'll turn this over to you guys only because of the fact that I really don't know any of these shows, at least not yet whatsoever. Tomorrow night is a big night for anime award fans or whatever, because Crunchyroll is having their annual anime awards ceremony. It's going to be taking place, I believe the time said it's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern, whatever. And I'm looking primarily, I found a site that's got the nominees for anime of the year and stuff like that. And I'm saying, if there's any chance if you guys know these, because I definitely don't. And I mean, I know by title, I haven't actually seen any of them. We've got for anime of the year, we've got March Comes In Like a Lion. We've got Made in Abyss, which is over on Amazon. Lands of the Lustrous, also on Amazon. My Hero Academia, Descending Stories, and Little Witch Academia. So
I'm voting for Little Witch. I'm hoping Little Witch Academia wins.
Okay, what's your logic?
No logic at all.
You gotta have something, all right? What makes it such a winner?
It's the same thing with when I watch the Academy Awards. I just go for the title I think is the best. I have no logic. I have no rhyme or reason.
You're like one of those, Scott, that does the trying to think what do you call it? You seem like one of those people that it's just like you pick the winner for an awards show by like randomly diving into the bag of M&Ms or something like that, and just like, oh, I drew green, that means this one's gonna win, or something like that. You're like one of those, or like but I'm trying to think of one of the shows I used to watch that had sort of like an example of oh yeah, which batch of cream corn or something like that. Well, who knows? Liz, you have a sorry, I was gonna say that. Liz, you got a preference as to one of those shows in particular?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh geez, you're in my boat here. I'm surprised.
However, I've heard all my friends are obsessed with Boku no Hero Academia, and a lot of them are into Little Witch Academia. I myself really want to watch Land of the Lustrious because I love how they do the hair and the wigs, and I really just want to play with those wigs. So that's where I am. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia though, and I'm gonna watch Hoseki no Kuni, Land of the Illustrious. I will watch those now that I'm not in Mad Con Crunch mode.
Gotcha there. Okay. Yeah. Forgive me as I'm on the move here because Joey is just like trying to garner further attention by banging on the steps that I was sitting on, things like that. I don't know what it is with him. Just like the moment I turn this camera on, and it's like he just wants the full grab here. He does this all the time. Okay, and while we're going here, I am trying to see whether because I know we got somebody else trying to join us in the chat room here, and I'm trying like crazy to also see. I'm trying to see if there is an invite or put into place here. This is very weird. I don't know why it's not letting Jordan in and stuff like that, because I've sent him an invite. He's trying to send me one. The Google Hangouts is weird. Let me see.
We got
type.
There's so many people.
We have another person that just joined.
This is Aaliyah. I went to Katsucon with her.
Oh, hey, okay, good. We got somebody there. How you doing, Aaliyah? Good to have you with us tonight. Where are you coming to us from tonight, Aaliyah?
What?
Where are you coming to us from?
Maryland.
Okay.
Maryland.
Same Maryland area and everything. That's good. Okay.
My sister lives down in that. Sister lives in Maryland.
Maryland's great, guys.
Gotcha.
Everybody lives in Maryland.
Gotcha.
Yes. She's a teacher.
Oh, okay.
Teachers are great.
Very good, very good. Hail to the teachers, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, Leah, real quick, before I go to the next topic here within our Smash or Trash, just real quick, we was listing off the nominees for the Crunchyroll Anime of the Year, whatever. We've got March Comes In Like a Lion, Made in Abyss, Lands of the Lustrous, My Hero Academia, Descending Stories, and Little Witch Academia. You got a favorite there for the winner tomorrow night?
I feel like it would be a pretty close tie between My Hero Academia and Little Witch Academy because they're both really cute. Well, Little Witch Academy is really cute.
Yes. My runner-up, if that one doesn't win, is My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
My
and I'm still
runner-up
getting into My Hero Academia, but like it's really good. So,
yeah.
But like honestly, can it be Yuri on Ice?
Stop that. It's too old.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It doesn't have to die.
So it seems like teaching-based stuff is gonna dominate here. Does it just seem to me that like recently the idea of if it's got academia in the title, like it's gonna be a hit?
Yeah, basically.
That's
I
just
think
yeah,
it's
a trend nowadays. Yeah.
Although, Bungo No Stray Dogs didn't have it in there, and that was a really intense hit. So switch that one.
Oh,
Fair enough. I'll buy with that. Why not? Okay.
Hashtag My Hero Academia.
Yes, it's great. Love Katsuki forever. And Deku. Deku's great.
Hashtag fake fan.
Oh,
Doesn't watch
Hashtag
anything.
Persona 5.
Well,
gotcha.
Hashtag Persona 5 animation hype.
It's true. And dancing game hype.
oh, look at
That's
you.
true. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, I've got my two persona my two persona freaks here in the room with this one. Anywho,
Okay, I can guess
okay.
the first
Speaking
one.
of games, let's go into our next piece here, where we've got a couple of game-based items there. Let's see. This week, Street Fighter V just unloaded their new character batch for downloadable content into the thing. I gotta be honest, before I even say who's in it, this whole idea of that you get the game at its base, and then periodically they add more characters for you to buy and download and stuff like that. What is it that they can't just give us all the characters straight from the start and just let us enjoy the game in full? Is it just me, or what's the deal?
They're building up the suspense.
Suspense for what?
Because suspense is great.
It gets you continuously hyped. I mean, for the dancing game, they wouldn't even release outfits right away for all of the characters, and it's gotten me so hyped for the stupid dancing game that I cannot believe.
Yeah, like the more hype,
I have yet to
like the
play
more
that. I have yet to play Persona Dance all night.
Love dancing all night. I didn't know I needed it until I played it, and now I can't look back.
It almost sounds like a Kiss song. Anyway, that being said, okay, the new faces being introduced for the group this time. We've got Sagat, Sakura, Cody, two new ones I don't recognize, G and Falk, Falke. So those must be original characters, however. And the one really being hyped, the biggest out of the group, Blanca is back in the business. And geez, I am looking at the picture here, and they've really upped him in terms of his feral look. He looks extremely hairy. I'll say that much. I'll send the link. Look on the side, guys. From I'm looking at the Anime News Network article. I'll shoot the link on the side there to you and stuff. And if you guys are following us live, watching the show live here, we'll that got a reaction from you.
Harry.
But I'm gonna imagine.
I was just saying, in all the times we've ever seen Blanca, I don't think I've ever seen that much hair on his head, especially on his arms or whatever the case is. It's just like absolutely.
If I was to get into playing Street Fighter, give me Sakura.
Well, yeah,
Sakura
was hyped as returning to the game a couple of months ago, like just before the turn of the new year, and I know she's got a new look that she's sporting. Well, and you figure that because she's supposed to be older, although by now the timeline of the Street Fighter games has just gotten absolutely ridiculous, because this is 5, but it's supposed to be 3.
So basically, they decided to put Kingdom Hearts with it, where the Kingdom Hearts timeline is completely is chronologically impossible to put together.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I know it's very strange, because I mean, like, has there ever been a video game series or whatever that's ever the order that the games released was actually the chronological order of the games? Real life.
I have no idea. I lost track after all those additions to 2.
I don't think there's ever.
Yeah, because check me, because I know like you've talked about like the Zelda timeline, a lot. You and Chuck talk about that constantly, and that timeline is so way out of whack it isn't even funny.
Oh hey,
Kingdom
Pokemon!
Hearts.
Pokemon. They did do the
Girls laughing here.
Well, no, never mind. Pokemon's out of order.
Ash must. They must have put Ash into the Fountain of Youth because he's never going to age.
Yeah, but that's different. At least we know everything in the Pokemon anime. At least we know that it's happening in the order that we're seeing.
Yeah.
We're not like advancing 2 years forward and then we're jumping 3 years back. And we're not doing that.
It's like going the generations
Digimon.
come out in order.
Yeah, it's just strange. Yeah, because with Street Fighter, the official order it's 1, then the Alpha series, then 2, then 4, then 5, and then 3. It's just like it gets too much after a while.
That's like me. That's like Rocky 3, Rocky 2, Rocky 4, and then Rocky 5.
Persona's pretty close to being chronological.
At least that's good.
Sure. I'd say within
That must be you, Scott.
series, at least most of that all takes place.
Hey,
I'd say at least with the Persona series. I'm not much of a fan on Dragon Ball Z. I mean, not Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z fans don't crucify me, but I actually enjoy the Dragon Ball Z series, so don't crucify me on that one. But I'm not a big fan of the fighting games.
Well, I know you're more of the Mortal Kombat guy. You've always told me that.
So I'm abstaining from that.
Well, given the choice between the two, that's what you've told me before.
Persona's
yeah, and here while you were mentioning that here, okay, we finally got Jordan in. Jordan Hazelwood, joining us here. Well, welcome, man. Good to see you. Been a while.
Please forgive the technical difficulties today. I thank you very much for having me. What all have I missed out on so far?
We're just going through our smash or trash items for the week and stuff like that. Just going through the current articles here. We're talking about we've kind of gotten off on a tangent because we were talking about the new batch of Street Fighter characters that were just added to 5 for download, and we kind of got in a tangent conversation with regards to Street Fighter being like several series that the order the games have come out has not been the actual chronological order of the series. So, yeah, we're in a little bit of a direction like that.
Yeah, I heard that is an issue. I feel like all of the Street Fighter games technically take place between like 1985 and 1992.
Something like that, because the original Street Fighter was 87, and Street Fighter 2 was 91, although the last one came out in the early 94. So who knows what year to technically place in. Alpha was supposed to be somewhere in between, and who knows where 3 is technically supposed to be in the order. It makes no sense to any of us whatsoever. But then again, is it supposed to? So, who's to say there? But
as for me, I was actually rather big into Street Fighter 4. I signed out of 5 though. It just seemed like a huge step back within the 10. There's like 10 characters at the start and no arcade mode. That's just not me.
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I think didn't you the first time you played the Challengers with us last spring? You had one of the questions I think about Street Fighter 5, wasn't it?
I don't recall.
You guys as a group had that question, but I forget if you were the one that answered it or not, or somebody beat you.
I remember there was a question about Marvel versus Capcom, which I knew, and the other guy beat me to it. Or he couldn't remember Jean Grey's name, and he ran out the clock until like the last possible second. That's That's the most. That's the most I remember from the very first Challengers.
Oh, no, that's right. That's right. You weren't in on the Street Fighter question, but you had the other disappointment of 2016 about Mighty Number 9. That was your question. I remember. Okay, now now it's ringing a bell.
I distinctly remember when I saw that category for disappointments of 2016. I said to myself, there'll probably be a Mighty Number 9 question in there, so that's why I chose that.
You called our shot, did you? Nice. Excellent. Who knows there? Anyway, all right. So let's move on to another video game that potentially could offer either great reward or great disappointment. And the news coming this week that the long hyped and awaited Sonic the Hedgehog movie has finally gotten a release date. Now it's not going to be for a while. It's not coming out of Paramount all the way until November 15th of next year, 2019. And according to Paramount's website, this is actually the news come from the Hollywood Reporter, based on Paramount's reports. That the film will, quote, use a mix of live action and CGI in order to bring Sonic to life. So,
wait, Paramount, the same people who brought us Airplane and the Raiders of the Lost Ark series?
That's up to you. You're better with those than I am. You remember those movies better.
I didn't think Paramount was still around.
Well, they are, and I know because like DreamWorks and everybody usually gets the bigger hype when it comes to these kind of things. But let's
one thing to note, and it should be noted, it was Steven Spielberg who suggested who actually created the PG-13 rating.
Interesting. Wouldn't have known that otherwise. But let's get into the discussion with regards to this. Liz, I'll throw it to you first. The idea that with this Sonic film, and not just even this Sonic film, but knowing the general idea of mixing live action with the CGI, where do you stand on the matter? Does that usually pull you in, or does that get you more nervous about a film?
I think if it's done well, it could look really cool, but it depends. It sort of depends on what they end up wanting to do. Because if they want like humans in this movie, then I think it could mix really well to have the CGI Sonic characters and then humans. Like I think you could have something nice going. But if they're gonna dress up someone in a Sonic suit, but then CGI like Knuckles for some reason, it's gonna get weird.
So basically, from your point, something like what they did with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Exactly. I think that could look really cool.
As long as we get Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis on this, then probably.
No. I can already tell you that's not happening in the first place. Let's see. Jeff Fowler will be making his directorial debut in the film. Tim Miller, who did Deadpool, and Toby Asher,
Deadpool, yes.
They will be executive producing the movie, as well as Neil Moritz from the Fast and Furious franchise. So
do we know who's providing voiceovers?
No news on voiceovers here. This is just the main thing with regards to that. There's now a release date moving, so it doesn't give any specifics with regards to any sort of voice cast. I can only imagine that they're going to use the voice cast that's currently established with the series. I would think.
So they'll get what's his name to do Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, Mike Pollock, yeah, most likely he'll be involved in that case. Jordan, in general, where do you stand on mixing the CGI with the real people?
Well, I have to say, I wish I had first thought of Who Framed Roger Rabbit when it came to that conceit, but alas, the first thing I thought of was that Battle Angel Alita trailer from a couple of months ago.
Oh, that one. That's interesting.
And I hope it's a better mix than that. I mean, I don't mean to derail you. I mean, I just thought like, well, maybe I should bring up an anime reference because you know you're you, but I don't understand how in that Alita movie why Alita herself only looks like she's the only one who looks like an anime character and everyone else is human. I don't really get why they went with that, but sorry, getting back.
I'm
What's
signing
that?
off. I have to go. Bye. But I love the conversation.
Oh.
And anybody who works with anybody who directed Deadpool is amazing. And yeah.
Mhm.
Bye. I hope you all have a great night.
Haven't got
Okay.
on.
It was nice almost meeting you, Aaliyah.
Nice almost meeting you, Scott. Bye, guys.
I'm Jordan, actually, but yeah. Good night.
It always gets crowded here. All right, no problem. We'll catch up with you. All right, all right.
Okay.
So so in any case, yeah. So yeah. So that seems unusual that they had such a setup in that. The only one looks like the anime character, but everybody else looks completely human. You said.
Yeah, I also recall about 3 years ago I saw a fan film, Sonic the Hedgehog fan film at a convention.
Yes.
And there was a number of like YouTube personalities who made cameo appearances in that, and it didn't look too bad. I think they actually brought back Urkel, Jaleel White himself to
They did.
Sonic.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. There was also I want to interject. There was a fan film that someone made, and it's on YouTube. It's floating around, revolving around the Sonic CD one, where Sonic went to the one where he had to collect the time crystals.
Where he went to the little planet where he first met Amy Rose, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a fan that people made called Return to Little Planet that they made and everything.
I see. But that one was like completely animated, wasn't it?
No, it was completely live action cast. So they actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but it was good. I actually enjoyed it though for the plot that they did for it. It was it was an interesting take. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that definitely seems good. Well, I hope for all intents and purposes and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I hope that this works the way that it should, stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, yeah, as long as they don't get too crazy within the physical interactions. I mean, we've come a long way in terms of our ability to mix anime and real people and stuff like that. Because I mean, I would probably, knowing anything, I wouldn't necessarily put this idea akin to the way the current Turtles movies, look and stuff like that. But I would probably say it's going to be the closest, the closest present day example to what I think the Sonic movie idea could end up being. So hopefully, with any luck, it should. It should turn out real well. Although I hope that Sonic and crew don't look as honestly grotesque as the way the Turtles looked in the last couple of movies. But that's me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm surprised if we have somebody from the Deadpool series in that and helping out. All we're missing is Ryan Reynolds himself.
No. Don't start breaking fourth walls with him, because then we're never going to actually have a Sonic movie.
Also, I'm afraid Mr. Reynolds has signed on to another video game movie. He's going to be Detective Pikachu. Haven't you heard?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be interesting enough in its own right. Oh, incidentally,
let me
just actually, I want to throw this at you, Scott, because this last night, remember we were talking at the beginning of the broadcast, we were talking about the trivia apps and stuff like that that you play, like we both play Cash Show, whatever. And I just started the other night. I just started trying another one called Beat the Queue. Last night, one of the questions on Beat the Queue, actually, good for us or whatever. The choices that they gave, they're saying what was the most expensive Pokemon trading card of all time?
Charizard.
Holographic Charizard.
Pikachu, Flying Pikachu, or Pikachu Illustrator?
Pikachu Illustrator.
How did you know that one?
I just took a guess.
You mentioned Pikachu twice. I would have gone with the one that had an extra word on it.
Well, wait. All three choices had Pikachu in them. It was the surfing Pikachu, the flying Pikachu, or the Pikachu Illustrator. And of that, the majority of us that were still in the game at the time chose the surfing Pikachu because that was the one that was always that's always been like the iconic image, especially since the original Pokemon Yellow game came out. So it was kind of surprising that one wasn't the big money grabber. You know what I'm saying? But good kudos to you, Scott, for getting that one. Okay, all right. Before we close out Smash and Trash, okay, we have, and I'm gonna again send the link. Check the side.
Okay. I want to mention one other thing because I just saw this drop earlier this week on Facebook that they're the next anime to get live action adaptation, Bleach.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's coming out very soon. I think that's only in a few weeks that's going to be dropping, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of you guys looking forward to it in any way?
No, I'm not a fan of Bleach.
I've got. I see.
The only I use is when I do laundry, and that's it.
Yeah, Liz, you seem very indifferent on the idea. What
Live action in general has never been particularly promising, with the exception of I did adore the Death Note live action movies. But in general, when they adapt something to live action, it loses something. I'm also not a Bleach fan, so I have no real stake in like what it's gonna like, but I want to see the FMA live action movie. I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I've heard that one was actually decent.
Which one?
Yeah, I'm still screwing up the courage to watch that myself.
Which one?
I really want to see that. The Fullmetal Alchemist one. However, I do recommend the Death Note live action movies, the like Japanese ones. If you ever want.
The funny thing is, Light's father in the Death Note live action movies was actually the chairman from Iron Chef.
Oh, you mean Mark Dacascos?
In the Japanese one, yeah, that was the chairman from Iron Chef that played.
Yeah, not our chairman, Jordan. Not the one. Not the one that did ours.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I see our chairman in a lot of things. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while.
I gotcha.
And the Double Dragon movie, but that's enough of that.
Okay, I see. Very good. Okay, all right. Our last item before we close out Smash and Trash and get into our main conversation. I was worried that coming into this one, because again, I know we have not posted this episode because I know we had to pre-tape a couple of them because we were off of live streaming for a little while here on this channel. But the last time that we taped a convention attention episode last month, gang, we started. We did one in December while we were in the middle of our copyright strike on Scott's YouTube channel. I've got to process and edit where we crowned the meme of 2017. We went through a lot of the memes that were making the rounds that year, and we nominated our winner. You'll see who won that when I get
real quick. I want to ask you this: Did you start the poll yet up on the?
Okay, Scott. Let me go in order here. Okay, now, in keeping with that theme, what we decided to do when we taped last month's episode, which again, we'll get it edited, it's going to be up very soon. What we did was we decided to, instead of looking at all of them at the ends of the year and stuff like that and trying to just remember them all in the first place, we're going to try to hit them as we go this time. We started with 3 memes last month, which have been the popular ones so far this year. We acknowledged Earth-chan, we acknowledged the Tide Pod Challenge, and we acknowledged, shoot, I'm already forgetting what the third one. Oh, yeah, Ugandan Knuckles. We've already mentioned
Do
those.
you know the way?
Yes, yeah. Now, and we're trying to see if we could do a lot as we go throughout the year ranking. Now, I was worried coming into this podcast that life's been pretty quiet on the internet meme-wise, that I didn't know if we were going to have one to add to the pot this month. But as it turns out, literally as of a couple days ago, we did get one. And this came from a woman who posted on Twitter, and I'm going to send you guys I'm going to put the link on the sidebar here. I'll put it in the chat on the YouTube video itself as well. This was a woman on Twitter who posted an article regarding that somebody did like a 3D rendering of what Cleopatra looked like way back when. Supposedly scientists discovered this. And
It's Britney Spears.
yeah, the person, and now this was a total joke gag that this person just made up. She took the 3D modeling of Britney Spears from the Britney's Dance Beat video game, and she decided to just make a joke and say, this is what scientists said that Cleopatra actually looks like. Now, what's funny about this is that this, as the article I'm posting, that I got the news about this from when I researched further. If you look on the dailydot.com, they have some more information about this. People took this this Twitter image that this woman posted in a couple of directions. You have those people, the easily offended ones, who are all complaining about, it's like no, it's like that she was, Greek and Egyptian and Macedonian. She should have had dark hair. She shouldn't be white skinned. It's, try to stop whitewashing everything and all that kind of stuff. But then those people that got the joke started making their own versions of this and started posting pictures that made Cleopatra. They posted pictures of Rihanna. They posted pictures of Beyonce and a couple of other different celebrities. Even one that I saw that had Danny DeVito in some kind of white mop wig.
Oh God!
So,
the last you saw of him, he was an M&M.
oh well, yeah, that's right. He was an M&M in a Super Bowl. That's true. So he's getting around in terms of weird looks or whatever. But here, Liz, in seeing that picture, if you didn't know better, which just in seeing that, are you more like, are you more laughing this one off that people were buying this, or?
I think it's hilarious because I think that people will fall for anything and get offended over anything when it was just a joke and it's Britney Spears.
Wait, she's still a thing?
Yeah, as I heard, the first time that I saw it this week, when somebody posted a copy of it of the meme on Facebook or whatever, they the first person commented, "It's Cleopatra, bitch." Oh yeah, I got a better follow up one to that. But here, George, what do you think of the idea that somebody is trying to pass this off?
Well, I'm trying to imagine myself finding this in the wild, and the thing about me is that I'm honestly really bad with faces. I'm much better with names, and I'm also not even remotely a fan of Britney Spears in any way, shape, or form. I'd like to think if I saw that, that would be my first thought, though. Does that look like Britney Spears? Maybe I'd.
Well, hey, it gets better. There was actually somebody else that followed up on either Twitter or one of those things. Somebody posted a reply saying that in addition to these pictures, they uncovered some of the hieroglyphics that were in Cleopatra's either like tomb or palace or whatever the thing is, and they were saying that according to the translations, she talks about how her loneliness was killing her, but she still believes. So people are really riding this to the hilt.
She found asp venom particularly toxic, I'm sure.
Yeah, she looks for a sign, and then something about hitting someone one more time. so who knows? But I get a feeling we might have now, once again, it seems like to the celebrities are gonna dominate the feed again for meme of the year. It looks like. So on the subject of that, and this is what Scott was alluding to, folks. Here's what we're gonna do after this podcast is over, and maybe even during, because like I said, my piece of the conversation isn't gonna be much after this. What we're gonna do is by the time this podcast is over, hopefully, we're gonna have a link to a poll that's gonna be up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost Productions, as well as we'll tie it to Twitter and here to the YouTube page. We'll put it on the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep it constantly updated, where we like for you guys to rank the nominees that we're keeping a tab of as we go throughout the year, in order so that by the time we do our last show in December, we're going to crown the meme of 2018. We're going to keep it live, updated. We're going to ask you guys to just keep voting in, keep your ranking to where you think that everybody stands for the nominees that we have. And if you've got one that's really popular that we've missed, send it to us. Let us know. We'll take a look, and we'll be glad to first mention it here on the next show, and we'll add it to the form for the next time. So please, by all means, get in the conversation and have fun voting with it. All right, so that's going to close out Smash or Trash for this time out. So now to our main conversation, and this is mainly why we've got Liz and Jordan with us here, because you guys were both at Katsucon last weekend. Yeah, and now always double check for me. Katsucon is, I always forget, is that the Baltimore or DC? Because I know there's always two happening at the same time, and I always mix up.
National Harbor.
Which one?
It's National Harbor.
Okay, National Harbor. Okay, but that's more within the Baltimore neighborhood.
No. It's DC.
DC.
Okay,
It's Maryland, but it's considered DC.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. So it's sort of
it's across the Potomac from Washington, but it's on the Beltway.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So now you guys were both there for the entire weekend. So just to get an idea, I mean, we'll break this down into a couple of things, because I know obviously just like every convention, there's a lot of different things going on. Jordan first. Let's start with the main thing that we always like to talk about, since we're always a part of this kind of scheme. Let's see, panels. What panels did you go to see in general?
Oh, well, I have to say, this was the first Katsucon I had been to in about 5 or 6 years. And I have to admit, the main reason why I wanted to go was because I had heard that you guys were going to be there. And of course, I found myself kind of following you around like the dead this last summer, because I really did enjoy your game shows. But so obviously, when I found myself at Katsucon with some friends, but without Fine Folks of Lost Silver, I decided to see, well, how's everyone else doing on the anime game show front? So I made sure to hit as many of those as I could. First was anime Name That Tune. I'm not sure if you guys ever done a Name That Tune style
Brian,
challenge.
I want to do it, but Brian won't let me do it.
Well, there's a reason I won't let you do it, Scott, because remember, we can't broadcast it. Otherwise, we're going to get the pantsuit off us.
Right.
Yep.
But that still doesn't mean we still can't do it. We could do it, but not air it.
True, possible, or whatever. Because I know for a fact that wait, what happened? I can't tell you where the remote is. Remember, you're over by the couch. So but because I'll tell you the truth, Scott. I know that, and I don't mean to draw any attention to us, or step on any toes, or whatever the case is. But Paul, Anthony, and I, back at the beginning of the school year, beginning of September, there was a small little it was literally called A Video Game Con. It was done here in Jersey, in like the sort of like the Parsippany Edison area kind of whatever. And so we did a couple things for them, and they had a classic arcade room appropriately as part of their convention. And
You told me.
back there in September, and before we left the convention last time, we talked to them about the idea of maybe possibly doing a Starcade game with them or whatever. Now, we would not be able to broadcast that either because, as you know, Grego got slammed by JM Productions for his runs of Starcade on YouTube. He had to take those down. He got a bit from all that. So I can't say one way or another if we're still going to follow through with the idea, but all I'll say is if we do, we're keeping it hush hush. We ain't actually. I mean, if we record it, it's strictly for our own posterity. So that would not get broadcast either. So, but I'm in a 50-50 debate whether I want to still go through with that idea or not.
Okay.
So take it for what you will, okay? And again, if JM Productions ever stumbles upon this, okay, again, understand. We do it tribute and love. We're not trying to profit off anything. Again, like I said, we know the deal. We're not going to broadcast it if we ever chose to do it. So just please forgive us. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry for stepping on such a nerve at the very beginning of this little.
No, believe me. There's a lot of other games, Jordan, trust me, that you could really strike a nerve with, Scott. Trust me. That's barely scratching the surface, so don't worry about it. But
now, so I'm pretty sure no one was broadcasting this anime Name That Tune. The irony is they totally could have gotten away with posting that on YouTube because there were like 96 people in the auditorium and everyone was playing simultaneously, which meant that they would start playing a song and then the moment that it started playing, at least 8 people would raise their hands, then they turn it off. And so I never heard more than like a half a second of any of these songs.
Oh, geez, you had people who were that on fire, huh?
Yeah, at least 8 of them at once. The only song I heard that I could that I could guess in like a third of a second. Here, I'll just go ahead and play it for you. Da da da. Anybody?
From that little bit?
I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
Liz knows.
Liz?
Cowboy Bebop.
Correct.
I knew that too. I knew that one.
Okay, when you really like a song, you can get it in that little. Like if you play the opening of Clear Loon, I need like 2 notes and I know it.
But like Brian, take for instance when I came down to your party and your friend played the song "That's Some More." I got it right off that opening there.
Right. No. I get the idea with that, Sky. I mean, it's like, no, I can definitely understand. Well, all right. Okay. I understand your point now. Yeah. Cause I guess just not knowing a lot of, anime themes myself or whatever. Like I said, maybe it's that element of it's a little bit lost on me, but no. Okay. No, I can see where you're coming from and stuff like that. Let me see. Oh wait, do you have any other games you said you visited, Jordan? Besides
yes. As I recall, immediately after Anime Name That Tune was Vague Jeopardy.
Okay.
Which is to say,
you told me about this name. Now describe what they mean exactly by vague.
Well, it absolutely was Jeopardy, but the thing is that for every question, or should I say answer, there were at least 3 possible questions. Like damn you, Jeopardy, and your needlessly confusing terminology. So, for example, one answer would be a electric rodent Pokemon. So there are like a few of those. So there are like 6 teams playing. They're all playing simultaneously. They had little whiteboards, marker boards, and they write their answer. And you wouldn't lose points for a valid answer, but there's only one valid answer that is correct, and it's usually the most obscure one. Like Pichu was the answer as above Pikachu.
So basically, it's Jeopardy mixed with Pointless.
You thought the same thing. You thought the same thing.
I've never heard of Pointless, so I think Brian, you said that on our communique before this.
Yeah, you got to look at some British game show stuff or whatever. Yeah, it's this. They have the same idea where it's a question that can that when they polled 100 people and they got multiple answers or whatever, you score more for the right answers that were given the least. And if you could really help it find the correct answer that nobody gave at all, get you is the best of all.
Right. The way that the scoring system works is depending on how many people, yes. But what happens is on a pointless answer, there's a certain amount that gets added to the pointless jackpot, which can be won at the end of the show.
Okay, yeah. All right, but
you're just thinking in reverse. But the way that the scoring system works is the least number of people that gave a response is your score. In pointless, you don't want a high score. You want the lowest score.
You try to keep your score low. So the more times you come up with,
right.
Small answers, then
it's an elimination game. It's an elimination game.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it had to be last man standing there. So that's all good there. All right. So let's see. Liz, how about you? Let's get you. What's up?
Paul, I want to interject you because I was talking to Paul about it too. Paul said there was a Family Feud that went on as well.
Yes, I was going to. I was at that one too.
So yeah, I think I was trying to remember. Yeah, because you said you went to a few of them, so just trying to keep track of them all. A little tricky there, but
right, there is hope for us to do Family Feud.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting survey information, just finding survey information that works based on the results that we get. Because there have been times we've tried to do these Family Feud surveys and the results have not been friendly toward the game and stuff like that. But we'll figure it out there. Okay. Yeah. So here, Liz talked about your panel experience, and Gerald. While you do that, I'm actually going to mute my mic because Anthony has been sending me voice messages here about his panel experience. So I'm going to try to get some details so I could share with him here because he didn't text it to me. He sent me a vocal. So here, you talk about your panels, Liz, while I get this information.
Here's the really funny thing. I didn't go to a single panel while I was there.
No.
Okay, so what ended up happening is I usually tell myself, you can't even look at the guidebook app until you finish your con crunch. And then I was just so busy, and then we kept having things to run to because I had shoot after shoot after shoot after costume changes. Like one day we wore 3 different costumes, and we were supposed to wear a 4th. I didn't even check the guidebook app because I didn't want to be disappointed in the stuff I was missing because I was enjoying all the stuff I was doing. So my Katsucon experience is mostly cosplay and photo shoot and meetup based.
All right, question. Did they put any soap in the fountain like they did last year?
No.
Good.
They did behave because I swear to gosh, please don't get us kicked out of the Gaylord for all its flaws. It's really pretty.
Yes, but look at what happened though this year. I mean, the year I went, we had a fire.
That's fine. I've had a fire at half of the conventions I've been to. I was there for the Otakon fire. AUSA had a fire alarm go off. Like, fire alarms don't bother me.
Where the hell have you been, Liz?
Huh?
What?
Fires just happen where I go.
Where are you and what are you doing at these conventions that fire alarms seem to be following you?
Okay. To be fair, the Otakon one was back in like 2011. The AUSA one was a false alarm, and that was this past year, and I didn't actually get the Katsucon fire alarm. That was 2 years ago, and that was the year before I'd ever been.
Right, that was
I've only had 2
years ago. That one I went to, we had the fire alarm went off. My so-called friend Antonio had too much to had a little too much from the bottle. Threw up in the hotel room. That same room had a hole punched in the wall. So if you go online and you see the picture, One Punch Man was here. That was in one of my friend's rooms. One of the rooms flooded that year I went.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They broke the exit sign. They broke that again this year. People got drugged this year, from what I heard.
Yes, the Everclear. Yes.
People getting drunk is my MagFest experience.
Yeah.
MagFest was lit.
Well, wait. What were you saying? Something about Everclear?
I'm hearing.
I saw 5 a.m. at MagFest. I never want to see 5 a.m. again.
Wait, you never told me there was a 5 a.m.? What is this 5 a.m. you speak of?
I got home at 5 in the morning, Saturday into Sunday at MagFest, and I laid on my couch the next day, unmoving, because I was so like, oh my god, why did I do this? I didn't even drink. Why am I like this?
Oh, good lord.
What happened with this Everclear thing?
Okay, so I read a little bit about this because I'm in just about every Katsucon group there is.
Okay.
I join a lot of these Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Everclear did not start with roofies in it. From what I have heard, this is all just, like fifth-hand knowledge, although the person claims to know the person. When this girl, like, the original Everclear bottle didn't have any bad stuff in it because people drank out of it and were fine. Sometime along the night, apparently someone took it, and apparently by the time she had taken it, something had been added.
Wait, Everclear is what, water?
Huh?
What is Everclear? Is that water?
That is very, very, very strong alcohol that I would not touch. It's like jet fuel.
Yeah, I don't drink, but the last person I asked about Everclear says it's comparable to absinthe.
Yeah,
which is the alcohol so strong, usually only vampires seem to drink it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Everclear is something to be avoided anyway, and I think if someone offered me a bottle of that, I would just be like, no.
The strongest...
Because, like...
That's it.
Who knows? That includes the adulting portion of our show. Anyway, real
drink underage, kids.
Wait. We here at Wall Silver do not condone the drinking of underage drinking.
If you must, but yeah, we recommend try to keep your convention experience sober if you can. No, and we're being serious about that. No, we've talked about that before on the show. Real quick, let's see. Little commentary from. Wait, hang on one second, Scott. Little commentary from, like I said, while Liz was talking, I was getting some of Anthony's vocal feedback. Anthony said, Jordan, that he was also at the Name That Tune. He said it could have been done a little better. He said that he was expecting an experience similar to the way that it was at Anime Next up here in Atlantic City and stuff like that. And he said it didn't. He didn't feel it flowed as well as how it was. He also went to the Liz. I don't know if you do the karaoke at all. Do you do?
I have in the past.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to let Anthony is last year's karaoke contest winner at Anime Next.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he said he went to the karaoke. He went to the karaoke at Katsucon, and yes, okay, go play. And he said that it was supposed to be anime karaoke, but a lot of people were doing American songs and stuff like that. There was actually very few people actually doing anime-based stuff. I've
done that at Castle Point, Brian. I've done that at Castle Point where I would do like maybe an anime song and then a song in English. But at Castle Point, they didn't have a problem with that. Like for instance, I kind of had a problem with it because I wanted to do Fly Me to the Moon, but they wanted me to do the one from the end of Evangelion, and I wanted to do the
you want to do old school Frank Sinatra, yeah.
I was gonna say, would you yell at me if I did it a cappella?
Me singing that?
No, me. I was gonna say, would you mind if I said, would you mind me doing it with no music then?
That beats me. All I know is you would be primed for the Gong Show from what I remember from the karaoke you did at my birthday party a few weeks ago. You make no mistake. You put your heart into it, but trust me, you are not American Idol bound by any stretch of the imagination, dude. I'm sorry.
So not American Idol, but you're gonna throw me to Austin Powers.
somewhere like that.
You're gonna throw me to Waynesville.
Call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Let me see. We got a comment in the chat room next to because we got somebody watching and listening with us and stuff like that. I guess this is one of your friends, Liz, because they said that they only went to 2 panels or whatever. There was a panel they went to on fan fiction, and there was also one about the infamous shipping battles.
Ooh.
Shipping battles?
Yeah, these panels sounded
in other words,
cool.
We want these 2 people together, or no, we want this. Naruto should be with Sakura. No, he should be with Hinata. Those kind of things.
It was Sasuke.
Yeah, so it's one of those kind of panels. Do you ever because this person said this person's saying, Liz, that apart from doing those or whatever, they said they hung out with you with and the other cosplayers during the shoots that you were doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yes.
But in general, do you ever frequent any of those kinds of panels that talk about the relationships and stuff?
Did you say Gerald?
I've never been to one, but I love shipping. So mainly I just talk to my friends about all the stuff I ship and that they ship, and we trade ships with each other. But I've never actually been to a panel on it because this is actually the first time I've heard of one.
Same here. I mean, me, if you know, I'm more into the whole thing with the waifus. That's it.
Oh, yes, I know. Yeah, you're always constantly on waifu hell. I know that.
I actually went to a panel like that. I think it was at Katsucon last year.
How was it?
Yeah, I was at a panel that I think it was called Dragon Fruit. They're like a dating app. They have this game with a lot of cards of I guess characters from various nerdy things, and they would pass out a card to 2 teams at random, and so it was just this it was a random shipping pairing. And one side would have to argue it for, and one would argue against the pairing. And the only pairing, unfortunately, I remember off the top of my head, of course, is Dana Scully with Naruto.
Gotcha.
And what can I say? Dana Scully doesn't believe, Naruto has got to believe. They can't make it work.
That's X-Files right there.
That sounds pretty good though. But the idea of debating each side and stuff like that almost sounds a little bit sort of anime parliament-esque. That it seems like we've got to hand down an edict when or a new law about it when the whole debate is over. Whatever the case is, man, it's been a while.
Is that still going on? Does your friend still do that?
I don't think he does. I think that anime Parliament has been kind of sort of retired from the convention world, and if it does, I know the one who used to do it doesn't do it anymore. He kind of soured out of the con scene from what I remember. So be there wherever the case is. All right, Joey, give the phone to mommy so mommy can play. You're going to be out in the first question. You don't know what you're pushing. Yeah. Joey's got HQ now on the phone or whatever. Yeah, he's not going to know what answers to press. Now watch him just randomly press all 12 questions right and win. That'll be hilarious. So who knows? So let me see here. All right, so that takes care of that. Now, as I was starting, you don't know if you hit the right one. You just push the button. They're going to tell you if you're right. No, you hit the wrong one, Joe. You're out. Wrong answer. You're done. See, I knew it was going to be out of question one.
Wait, Brian, I got something to mark the occasion that he got out in the first question. Hold on.
Oh, what are you doing? Yes, no. Scott, now come on. The kid's 4. He just sees fun game. Oh, push buttons. That's all he knows.
Same.
So
I'm trying to have some fun with it.
Hashtag relatable.
Moving on. All right, let's see. Now here, Liz, you were talking before about the photo shoots that you were doing and stuff like that. Whatever. So knowing that because you're a big cosplayer, of course, so you have Memento Cosplay. Let's plug it for you officially there and stuff like that. Of course. Now try to think. Now, personally for yourself, I'm trying to think. What cosplays were you doing again this past weekend?
Well, I played a little game called How Many Futaba Cosplays Can I Cram in One Weekend? The answer is 3. But I also cosplayed okay. I did a original design Whims of Fate Futaba for a casino group on Thursday, and then I did her Phantom Thief outfit Oracle for Friday and a music video on Saturday, and her Dancing Star Night outfit, which hasn't even been released. Well, it has since been released, but thank you, Atlas, for waiting until after the convention to show me all the flaws. But I did that outfit as well, and then finally I did A2 from Nier Automata.
Right.
Which I know nothing about because I've played an hour of the game, but my friend was cosplaying 2B and was like, "Here, Liz, do it." And I was like, "Okay."
Wait, what did you do Wednesday?
On what day did I do this? Friday and Sunday, I did A2 from Nier Automata.
You said the Futaba one, but I heard casino in there somewhere.
Oh, yes, I did. My friends and I had this fun idea to do a Whims of Fate group where we wanted to just get pictures in/around the casino of it was just going to be me and my friend who cosplays Makoto of the 2 socially awkward phantom thieves go to a casino and don't know what they're doing. And it evolved into this whole group thing, and I actually my friends helped me design a dress that I made that was based around her Oracle design as well as her casual outfit design. And that was my Whims of Fate dress, so it actually had on her Phantom Thief outfit, it actually has embroidery running down the sides of it. Yeah, it was really fun.
They didn't kick you out, did they?
Huh?
I want to make sure about that. The casino didn't. Okay, because 2 years ago when Anime Next came down to Atlantic City, there was a Tsunade cosplay, and she was sitting at one of the electronic roulette tables at Bowie's. And someone looked at me and said, "How do you know that's Bowie's?" The carpet. I know it because the carpet, the casino floor carpeting. I was like, wait, how did you know that was Bowie's?
That's what Scott says. He that's the part that he would focus on. He would focus on the actual casino itself and not the cosplayer.
To be fair, I can identify conventions by their carpeting.
Well, I think everybody can identify Dragon Con's carpeting.
I can do both Otakons and Katsucon.
Yeah, that's crazy of its own right. But in your travels, then, Liz, aside from what you were doing, the photo shoots you were doing, as you traveled the con, what sort of cosplays did you see that were really standing out and stuff like that? Well,
so I was actually just thinking about this today, which makes me kind of bummed. I was supposed to cosplay Toko Fukawa / Spoiler on Sunday, but ended up not working out. There was a ton of Danganronpa cosplayers at Katsucon, which was amazing because I love Danganronpa. And there was also a lot of Boku no Hero Academia. Those were the 2 really big fandoms I saw, although I did see a fair amount of Persona, which makes my heart happy because 10 years strong I've been into this series, and now it's finally getting love.
Same here.
But those 2 were definitely the biggest, and I did see a lot of Hoseki no Kuni cosplayers as well, the Land of the Illustrious. Which I have to use their names interchangeably because I just learned the Japanese name and now I'm just learning the English name for it. Because it was just the people with the cool hair.
Anyone
that's the easiest way to remember people, the people with the cool hair.
They had the shiny hair. I want to make the shiny hair.
All right, here's a question. Anyone cosplaying from the new season of Cardcaptor Sakura?
I think so, but there wasn't a ton of it.
Yeah, probably give it a little more mainstream time than Scott. Yeah, you'll probably see a little resurgence coming through here. Jordan, how about you? How are the cosplays looking as you ventured around?
Well, this is just me, but I was really pleased to come across 5 friends who were cosplaying as the 5 heroes from Odin's Sphere. That was a real trip for me. Admittedly, the guy who was the rabbit he basically just wore the ears. He didn't go all in, but that's right. Oh, actually, probably the most impressive cosplay I saw was there was a woman who was essentially doing a Rule 63 Balrog from Lord of the Rings, not Street Fighter. She had like UV paint on her eyelids, so that her eyes glowed.
Ooh,
I want to do it. I love when things glow.
Glow.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Talking like a black light kind of glow, like if you turn the lights out, it does that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my friend Brendan went with also the co-host on my podcast. I'm not sure if I'm we'll have an opportunity to plug that, but I'll hold on. He was the one who got the picture, and I'm afraid he hasn't shared it yet. Otherwise, I'd love to show that to you.
You shall not pass.
Sounds crazy and interesting in its own right. Either of you see like any like really like off the beaten path kind of cosplays? Because I know occasionally when I've traveled around different conventions, I always have a fun time seeing the ones that they aren't video game based, they aren't anime based, they don't even look like they belong in even any sort of nerd culture conversation, because like I said, they're not comic book or anime or video game or stuff like that. They're just like just like totally random TV or even like commercial pitch characters. Like used to see a lot of Flo the Progressive ladies in whatever. Oh, Liz has got one emphatically here.
I do. I didn't get to see much of this, but my friend did. There were a bunch of college guys dressed up as old ladies hobbling around.
Doing what?
Just hobbling, just like,
They-
honey, let's get up this escalator. Oh.
Maybe they're cosplaying as Elven girls.
There were about 20 of them apparently.
Can I interject? That reminds me of the Monty Python skit that they did on the TV show where they had these old ladies beating up the teenagers.
Yes.
That seems a little strange, but
it was hilarious. Yes.
And again, that's Monty Python. So
gotcha. Yeah. Jordan, you got one to throw in?
As for me, I feel like every convention I go to, no matter what the convention is about, I see at least 3, but probably 5 guys going as the Scooby Gang.
Okay, but you see, I can even see that because again, there's still American animation still seems like it would fit and stuff like that. So I mean, there's still a place with it within this environment and stuff. But it's just the idea that, but like I said, those real things that it's just like, who the heck are they? Where are they supposed to be? And it's just the stuff that you really got to ask questions about to understand, like, you did this why? So yes, you're very good. Okay, go bring the phone back to mommy.
I win.
He always thinks he wins. So all right, let me see here. Let me see. Anthony's thrown something else here, whatever, because there were a lot of guests at the at Katsucon this
year. Ryan, hold on.
What happened?
Before going on, address what I shared with you.
What's that? Where is that? I don't see it.
About the room, the incident with the room.
Okay, no, we're gonna get to that. We'll get a little bit into it or whatever. I just want to get a couple of other items in here real quick. Because Anthony mentions another panel that he went to in here. It was called Dubbing Music in Anime, and Caitlin Glass actually hosted the panel. He basically she gave an in-depth look on how music in dubbed anime was made, and just in general how difficult that it is that it is to do and stuff like that. So that's actually good that one of the main guests he got to attend those. Did any of you guys? Because I know he also said he was spending a lot of time trying to get autographs from some of the guests. Did either of you guys, Liz or Jordan, did either of you try to meet with any of the major celebs at all?
I've never tried to meet with a major. The only time I tried was one year at Otakon, and that was only because it was the twin sister of my history teacher, so I had an in to get to see her.
I see. Okay, there. Jordan, you had something somebody you tried to visit?
The only one I can think of was although I did hit 3 of his panels in a row. I tried for a 4th, but couldn't quite swing that. The voice actors Dino Andrade and forgive me if I mangle this, Greg Hauser, I think was his name.
Okay, yeah.
They are they hosted an ongoing series of panels about preparing to get into voice acting. There was one about creating characters, about the 9 directions that you could throw your voice, all the way from on the top of your head with the highest pitch you can to talking as if your adenoid is blocked, or of course back into the throat, or in the stomach, which is the powerful or sultry voice, that sort of thing. And so and that led up to a table read for an episode of Fraggle Rock, which they just happened to have the scripts for.
Wait, time out. Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, it was a bit of a random pull, but I mean, I guess they just had it. I think Dino Andrade was one of the original voices on Fraggle Rock. He's been doing this since the early '80s.
Oh, and, okay, I see. I didn't realize that that he went back that far, or just in general. That would have actually.
I heard the words Fraggle Rock.
Yes, Bria. Yes, you did. That would have been really cool. I would have loved to have been in there as part of that or whatever. Okay, right. You go relax. So.
What were you talking about? You're leading.
Okay, I'll tell you later, Brianna. Okay, go now. Stop. We're loud. We gotta move. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is not a casual conversation. You know that by now. No, we're not done yet. We still got 13 minutes. As usual, everybody wants to get on the act. You guys know that well by now here or whatever.
Yep.
Scott, be forewarned. Aside from who they've mentioned already, Anthony also says that for you, he who shall not be named was also there at Katsucon this past weekend. You know who I mean, right? Vic, yeah, Vic was there. And Anthony was trying to get your autograph from him and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I can close the door on that, the last panel that they had was actually another game show. It was in when I was talking to you, it was the one that I said that reminded me of that one scene from Inglourious Bastards. And I just sort of let that non sequitur hang because I thought I wanted to interest you into getting back with me. Maybe I shouldn't have been so coy. Maybe I'm just insecure. But no, what I'm referring, of course, to the scene in the bar where everyone wrote down characters on those little cards and put them on the brims of their hats, and they 20 question each other as to
the headbands.
Yeah.
Well, those guys.
Well, of course, it's the far future year of 2018, so no one was wearing hats. So instead, he put them on like "My Name Is" cards and slapped them on our backs, and we had to figure out who we were from that.
I'm not putting
So basically, a "What's My Line" type of game.
Yep. So, and just to say, admittedly, I am much more into American comic books than I am in anime. Unfortunately, that is what my show is about. So to put in perspective, it took me like 40 guesses to figure out I was Roy Mustang the first time, and then the second time I was Gorilla Grodd. 3 guesses.
Yeah, it definitely proves your backdrop. However, that also proved why that day you did so in your first game of challenges. Why you did so good for us and stuff like that, because we had more of the broad base and stuff. Whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, there are a lot more video game questions on your first round, I have to admit.
Yeah, we haven't posted your second episode yet, so no spoilers yet. Just so you know, in case you haven't watched it, like I said, Jordan was one of our champions from when we did the challengers last year. He was on our Kofi episode, our accidental Kofi episode. So go take a look at it after you're done with the show here. He did compete in his second match at Liberty City last summer or whatever. We know the results. You guys don't yet. We will post it very soon, hopefully. I just need to fetch the video from Paul, and we'll try to get that in perspective. So you'll see if he's won for a second time or not. So we'll find that out as we go there. Now let me see. What aside from those main things, obviously besides from the panels, aside from the guests, there's a lot of other different things that go on and about in terms of like the gaming rooms, the dealers rooms, different things like that. Jordan, do you ever venture in those directions at all, or?
Oh yeah. I always hit up the dealer's room at every convention I go to, and I tell you, if I may not have thought of this if you hadn't mentioned Liberty City convention, but man, Liberty City Anime Con, I will sadly always remember it as the very first anime convention I've ever went to in which nobody in the dealer's room was selling anime.
No, I will agree to that.
With the exception of those that were selling like the plushies and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. That's right. Last year.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I rue the day I go to a comic convention and no one there is selling comic books.
Okay, that
I don't know if I'll be able to survive that.
I don't know if any Comic-Con geek would be able to that would be unspeakable. Or here, let's make sure we keep Princess Bride in. Inconceivable. We must always.
But it answered your question as to this comic, as to Katsucon's dealer's room. I just hit up the Funimation booth, and I got the Blu-rays for Outlaw Star and Space Dandy.
Gotcha.
There's only one thing I will collect from Funimation, and it's actually sitting on my wall right now, and it's actually appropriate, so I'm going to show it.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think your camera's working, Scott. Oh, there it is. Oh.
A second. Yeah. Well, he's on his phone, so he's trying to make sure that he's not making a mess. Oh yeah, his DXD posters. Yeah, the unnatural obsession he has with that show. It's always in there. Anyway, let's see, Liz, where else did your travels take you mainly during the con?
All right, first, I just got a message from my friend that said Katsucon has panels because neither of us went to panels. Second, I only really briefly got to do Dealer's Room. We sort of just did a walkthrough of it, but I don't think I bought anything in Dealer's Room. I did buy a ton of stuff in Artist Alley because I love supporting the small-time artist. One of my favorite artists was there, so I bought like her original works and a doujin that she wrote, and I don't own many, if any, doujins, so that was exciting. But I did do Purikura. I only got to do it once this convention. We did it 3 times at Anime USA, but let me tell you, I'm hooked on Purikura. Here's our really cute A2 and 2B Purikura sheets.
Gotcha. There we go.
You'll forgive my ignorance. Purikura, are those just like photo booths?
Yeah, it's a Japanese photo booth, and except way cuter. There's stickers. You decorate everything. It's an addiction. It is a problem for me. It's like $10 to do. And
Liz,
I love it.
I'm going to Japan this year for 3 weeks in December.
Purikura would be an issue if I went to Japan. Also, guys, I'm only on cosplay from the waist up.
Yeah. You'd never come back if you made it to Japan. Yeah, because you'd be broke just doing the photo booths.
It's true. But they're only fun to do with other people. I was really sad we only got to do it once this convention, but it's so much fun and it's my new addiction is to go in and do it while I'm in costume because you just get the cutest photos. I have 3 of them from Anime USA, which was the first con I went to that had a Parikura booth, and we literally did a full costume change just so we could go do Parikura.
Question to you. Do you go to Otakon?
Yes, every year, 10 years strong.
Yeah, because I went there. I went there again this year. I had my Mafuyu cosplay from Fatal Frame.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they've introduced the booths, those photo booths there yet, though.
They probably will this year because it seems like it's hosted by, I think, Anime Oasis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And they have just a bunch of like stuff, but Parikura is definitely the biggest thing. I have a feeling at Otakon it's going to be impossible to get into, which is why AUSA was cool because that's a very small convention.
If you're ever at Otakon, we should, plan to meet up or something.
We'll see. Yeah, I've got a very busy August this year. Well, I'll tell you about some point later here. We always have a busy August, but we'll find out. But real quick, Scott, because I know we're running out of time here. Because as good as because it sounds like you guys had a great experience with Katsucon, and we hope you guys watching also did. Please don't forget to leave your thoughts, and your experiences. Leave some comments for us, wherever it is that you find us, and let us know what you think. And if you tell us personally, we'll add it into the comments below this video, just so other people can read them. But I know Scott, last couple nights ago, we wanted to just make sure we got this out in the closing minutes. You found out about somebody who had a not so good experience when the con was over. So if you could just share that quick with our audience.
One of my other friends, who's also a professional cosplayer, posted this. I just copied the link from her page and everything. While on Sunday, while the guests were checking out and they were taking things to their car, the cleaning staff the cleaning lady on that floor went into their room and ransacked their hotel room and stole it.
Yeah, no, complete and total shame to hear about that and stuff. That was very bad to hear. I mean, we know that there are sometimes some bad incidents in the hotel rooms. We know we have a friend who did something not so good in his hotel room at Katsucon a year or two ago and stuff like that. But to hear that the staff like this, that was
But and to top it off, she filed a police report, went to the manager in charge of housekeeping and the hotel staff, and they did nothing about it.
Well, that's even worse.
And to consider it, the Gaylord Hotel is run by is a Marriott property, so you would think that something would be done.
That's crazy, and that's just really sad that that kind of stuff is happening like that. And I hope that I know we can't necessarily offer any kind of attempted justice from where we are and stuff like that, but I'm hoping that that in some way, shape, or form, this gets resolved. This person can either get their stuff back or at least get some type of proper compensation.
In my thought, if nothing's being done about it, her best bet is to take it to court.
I think to a certain extent, she might not have a choice in the matter.
Yeah, if nothing's being done about it, then if she's watching this podcast, take Marriott to court with it and sue them in, I think it would be small claims court, but depending on what they stole and everything. But since in reading the article a little bit more, there was jewelry stolen, so I'm not sure how much of value the jewelry is. That would bump it up to larceny, depending on the value of
that could really start to make things get ugly. Yeah, so that would
bump it up. That could bump it up to larceny. depending on that. If it's more than a certain amount, then that bumps up to grand larceny. So there's jail time involved with larceny and stuff with that, and that is considered a felony.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, well, like I said, I hope it works out for for your friends that that this happened.
I didn't know the person. I read about it from the Katsucon Facebook page, so that's how I found out about it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, again, the word is out there, and let's just hope that it works itself out and stuff or whatever. Well, in any event, in spite of that, I hope again that you guys that did attend had a very good Katsucon stuff. Yes, Joey is showing me the post for Cash Show. Yeah, so. That's gonna run out, Joe. So yeah, and matter of fact, we got to run out. So real quick, Joe, before we
there's one really quick thing I wanted to do, especially because I'm not used to video podcasts. I mean, look at me. Clearly, I have a face for radio. But since I killed myself getting my crappy new webcam to work tonight, so I could be on your show, I wanted to test this out. Does anyone else notice that when you get your plus 18 wristbands, why do they have these adorable little penguins on them?
No, I wish I'd gotten one. That's so cute. OMG.
Yeah, that's the 18 plus, and yet they're
love it.
I mean,
I love it.
It's a little odd.
I'm not saying there has to be adult material on this, but it just still it could just be a straight red band, because red bands that's adult, but no, they're just these adorable little penguins, and they're not even animated. These could be the printies from Disgaea,
It's so cute. I want it.
Where's our bands, dudes? Really? No.
Yeah.
I love it.
But be careful when you toss printies, they explode.
If you want to call those pretties, exactly. You might have to hang on to that and mail it over to Liz the way she's gushing over it.
It's so cute.
I did it.
Gotcha.
Okay, Liz.
That's all good.
Sure, I'll get your mailing address after the show.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Well, I'll let you two discuss that. In the meantime, we got to get out of here, folks. We'll see you for another convention intention in 4 weeks. Stay tuned to our Facebook and everything, and also to the banners up here on the YouTube site to get a better idea of what we're going to do next. In the meantime, like I said, Liz, thank you very much. Look for her.
And subscribe to the video.
Yes, exactly. All right. See, he knows the pitch. All right, look for Liz at Memento Cosplay. Jordan, real quick, where can everybody find you?
Subscribe for the 2 days and come back tomorrow.
Where can I find you, Jordan?
You can find all of my work and that of my fine cohorts at geekaid.com. Geekaid is I do somewhat dislike mentioning it verbally because everyone spells it incorrectly. It's Geekaid is spelled like a sports drink, not like an adhesive bandage. So
so it's GEEKADE.
Correct. Wow. You have no idea how many people I've said that to, and they said, "Oh, so AID."
No.
Thank you. It's a mere 7 letters long. It would be hard for me to find another nerd podcasting and article writing continuum that has a smaller URL, but it's still just so hard to communicate with orally.
You got it. All right.
I've placed an order for some business cards.
Yeah, I think we got to get a new group of ours ourselves, but we'll worry about that later. Right? We'll check you out there. And so subscribe to all of us. Help us build the crowds.
Since we're doing plugging, I might as well plug my channel.
Yes, Skune 007. Yes, we'll get all that in place there.
To all the channels.
Yes, exactly. All right. And in the meantime, while you do that, we got to check out here, and don't forget, look on our Facebook page. In a little while, we'll get the posting for your voting for the
Cash Show.
Yes, all right. The updated voting for meme of the year. So we got to get out of here. Brian Spisky again from Lost Silver Productions. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
And I'll do that guys tomorrow.
Maybe-
Goodbye. Vote for Ugandan Knuckles if you know what's good for you. Goodbye.
The way.
And then